The Profit Project is a $250 million USAID-funded project implemented by CLUSA and EMG Cardno. Over 6 years, working in 3 sectors, the project reached 250,000 farmers. The poverty rate for people living under $1.25 a day is 60% in Zambia, and there's an 80% rate of chronic hunger. 75% of the population in Zambia are farmers, and many are subject to drought. The main crop is maize. This is how it's prepared and served. As is the case in many developing countries, the maize market is bifurcated between formal and informal food distribution channels. The poverty, hunger, high food prices are mainly caused by low productivity among smallholder farmers, which in turn is related to the challenges they face accessing affordable inputs. That was the state of affairs at the beginning of the Profit Project. So what was going on in input supply markets? There were several failures. On the information and skills side, the large-scale input suppliers, of which there were many, were not aware of the high demand among smallholder farmers and didn't have the skills to distribute to that clientele anyway. Among smallholder farmers, there were very few and very erratic quality of inputs available, so over time, those farmers developed a mistrust in inputs in general. This led to a missing market in retail distributors for inputs. Poor roads exacerbated the problem, and to make matters worse, there was a policy failure of governments and NGOs occasionally providing free inputs, which further eroded effective demand for commercial input supply. Affordability was also a challenge, but financial services markets were weak. There was very low supply due to a history of farmers not repaying loans. In general, the food distribution system works well, but lack of information and poor roads also contribute to a missing market of distribution between small-scale commercial farmers and high-value formal food markets. There are, of course, also many strengths in the maize sector in Zambia. We've mentioned the vibrant input supply market and the very numerous farmers who have good farming skills and a high demand for increasing production. The main opportunity, of course, is the ever-increasing demand for food through both formal and informal food distribution channels. The Profit Project built on those market strengths and focused on the market failures in input supply. The goal was to strengthen an appropriate input distribution market and help microfarmers transform into small-scale commercial farmers. And that's exactly what the project did. The Profit Zambia project helped farmers and input supply firms to establish a distribution channel through farmer-selected agents. In this system, agents can offer farmers a diverse package of inputs sourced from non-competing supply firms, and they can sell them to various communities of farmers as long as they aren't competing directly for the same products with other agents. At first, the project and the input supply firms trained the agents themselves, but over time, the firms have established a certification and training association. In addition, a private technology company has set up MIS services for order and inventory tracking for the agents. Agents access these services through their smartphones. What's left behind now that the project is over is a vibrant input supply market serving small and micro-scale farmers. Now, let's review the specific market failures and interventions and how they matched. The Profit Project in Zambia addressed 3 key market failures in the agro-inputs market: information and skills, incomplete markets, and policy failures. The project addressed the first 2 constraints with a combined intervention: the agent model. Constraints in the enabling environment were addressed over time through an interagency and private sector agricultural guidance body that works to improve agricultural policy. This market development strategy was very effective. You can see how over a period of 6 years, the sales of agricultural inputs to smallholder farmers grew exponentially up to $3 million in the final year. Altogether, some 50 input suppliers engaged around 3,000 sales agents. In turn, those agents sold to 250,000 farmers, who increased their maize sales by an average of 185%. For our second case, we'll be considering Banglalink and Catalyst in Bangladesh. Together, they developed a call-in farming advisory service called Krishi Jigyasha 7676. First, some background. The poverty rate in Bangladesh is 50%. 54% of Bangladesh's population are farmers. Most of the available land is already under cultivation. One major risk that farmers face is the constant threat of flooding. The current agricultural strategy for smallholder farmers is to increase productivity and diversify production, which requires access to inputs and technical advice. As in many countries, in Bangladesh, the formal and informal food distribution channels operate somewhat autonomously. However, as Bangladesh modernizes, the number of small-scale commercial farmers that are able to cater to both formal and informal distribution channels is growing. Overall, the informal food distribution channels are shrinking, while the formal food distribution channels are expanding. Unfortunately, most small-scale commercial farmers are unable to compete in these higher volume, higher value markets. The main market failure is an information and skills gap. Micro and small-scale farmers have low access to technical advice. In addition, micro-scale farmers find that affordable inputs are not readily available to them. Small-scale farmers do have access to inputs, but they don't have access to good technical advice. To summarize the opportunities and strengths, the main opportunity is in the formal food distribution channel, and the main strength among smallholders is among small-scale commercial farmers who have access to small-scale suppliers. The Banglalink Farming Information Service focuses then on small-scale commercial farmers and addresses the constraint of low access to technical advice. The service is not geared towards subsistence farmers because they don't have access to inputs, so advice alone would not be enough to help them. So the Banglalink initiative addresses an information market gap by filling the missing market for information distribution. How does the service actually work? Banglalink is a cell phone company, and they sell farmers a package of farming information cell phone service. Farmers call 7676 with their agricultural questions and concerns. The calls are routed to a private corporate partner call service center, which provides information that they in turn get from a content provider that's also private sector. The role of the Catalyst project was to build the capacity of the content provider and the call service center to be able to handle the information requests from the farmers. This enabled Banglalink to focus on their core capacity of providing communication services to farmers. Banglalink provides information on all of Bangladesh's core agricultural sectors and provides a wide range of information. The information is also customized for different parts of Bangladesh and different farming conditions. The vast majority of customers feel the service is very effective. There's a high probability of users calling again and also recommending the service to other farmers. In less than 2 years, the service has reached more than 1 million people and received more than 1.5 million calls from farmers. To conclude, I'd like to highlight several key lessons in using a market failure lens. First of all, don't start by analyzing the market failure. First, look for your opportunity, and then try to understand why businesses are not taking advantage of that opportunity, and there's your market failure. Second, try to separate out your market failures and your policy failures and understand the dynamic that often policy failures cause market failures. Of course, matching the program to the market failure is critical. Remember, we are market doctors. Fourth, don't try to direct markets in a particular way or replace markets where there is no market. Rather, what you're trying to do is look for market opportunities, help firms to see those market opportunities, and help firms to see those market opportunities, help remove the barriers that they face in trying to take advantage of them, and thereby unleash the power of markets for scale, sustainability, and higher development impact. We do know, though, that there are many missing markets, so you should look for and stimulate those missing markets, and look in particular for service markets that are existing in some countries but don't exist where you're operating. And finally, maintain your focus on the social goals that were the purpose of the program to begin with. Thanks so much for your time today. I do wish you good luck in your training. Have a great time, and I look forward to hearing how you put this new information and skills to use.